Hi, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Garance French, and as you saw in the title today, we are going to talk about bullying. If this is triggering for you in any way, please skip this video. I have no problem with that, like put yourself first. So, a couple of years ago on this channel, I started a sort of series where I talked about bullying. I did a couple of episodes, but turns out it's a lot for me to do these videos because, the things that I talk about are quite heavy and they're still fresh in my memory. I have wanted to continue this series for a while, but the last couple of months have been kind of hard for me. Like I wasn't feeling it. Yeah, didn't want to put myself through this because it's still very hard. Today, like lately, I've been feeling better, so I'm thinking maybe this is the moment to talk about bullying again. I feel like I have to talk about these things because as a person who's been bullied my entire life, I have a lot of experience, I have a lot of thoughts on the subject. I hope that my videos can help anyone, whether you are being bullied, whether you are the parent, the caretaker of someone who is being bullied. My videos are really here to spread awareness about it and just have a chat, have an honest conversation about it. As I usually do in these videos, I'm going to talk about my own experience. Everyone is different, everyone experiences things in different ways. This is just my experience, and yeah. So, if you don't know me, then hi. My name is Garance French. I'm 21 years old, going on 22. By the time you see the video, I'll probably be 22 already. But I was bullied for like most of my life. Since I was a child, like in primary school, I was bullied a lot. But the most bullying that I went through was in middle school. I was bullied for years by my best friend, and this has had many consequences on my mental and physical health. Mind you, all of this happened like 10 years ago. I am old, and they are still affecting me to this day. So that's why I want to talk about bullying and its consequences because, as I said, it's been nearly 10 years and I'm still here going to therapy about it. So, as I said, when I was in middle school, I was bullied by the girl that I consider to be my best friend. And yeah, I was bullied for about 4 years, I think, from her. And then there was all the other bullies, obviously, like she was the main one, but there was plenty of bullies in high school as well, but like mostly middle school. And so today, as I said, I am a 22-year-old young adult woman. I'm, going on with my life, but I am still feeling every day the consequences of bullying. Like, I have started to go to therapy a couple of years ago because it was just becoming unbearable because I also have other stuff going on in my life that were very stressful. And I needed to talk about the bullying. Like, I needed to get it off my chest. And so I went to see a therapist, which I love. I love her. She's very great. We've had lots of sessions of EMDR therapy. If you don't know, then EMDR therapy, I do not remember what it stands for. I'll try to find it, but it's like eye movement, something. It's about reprocessing your memories. This is for people who suffer from PTSD because turns out I have PTSD. And not only do I have PTSD, I have complex PTSD. Yeah, that's fun. So that's one of the consequences of this bullying is that I now suffer from complex PTSD. If you're wondering the difference between PTSD and CPTSD, PTSD is when you have something traumatic happening to you. There's that one thing, that one peculiar thing that happened that traumatized you, and now you're living with the consequences of that. You can think about if you went through a terrorist attack, you went to war and stuff, right? These sort of things that are very heavy and that can traumatize you. A complex PTSD, it's basically the same thing, except what traumatized you is not just one thing, but multiple things over the course of multiple years. So that was the case for me because I was bullied pretty much every day for 4 years. So I was traumatized every day for 4 years. Yeah, this is a bit harder to treat than regular PTSD because there's just so much more work. Because when I do these EMDR therapy sessions, we deep dive into my memories, into my brain, into my thoughts, and we try to reprocess, talk about things. Like it's a very complicated thing. I don't know if you want to hear more about this, tell me in the comments. I'll be happy to make like a full video about it because this is quite a complex subject. But like, yeah, basically we have to reprocess all of my memories one by one because what happens when you have PTSD is that you feel like you're in danger. Like something will trigger you and you feel like you're back in that moment when you were in danger and you will feel like you're in danger in the present moment, which is not the case. And so you have to reconnect, like rewire your brain to understand that you are safe now, that this is all in the past, and your brain doesn't understand that. Like for example, a lot of my bullying happened in the girls' locker room, in middle school, in the girls' locker room when we were changing. A lot of bullying happened there. And that place is extremely traumatizing for me and extremely triggering because not like a couple of years ago, I went there, we're doing a show with my friend for like a theater group, and I went there because I had to change. I walked into that locker room and I just froze because like there were so many memories that were assaulting me. Like I was completely triggered and I nearly had a panic attack just walking into that room because it all brought me back. Like just talking about it right now makes me kind of want to cry. I'm not, I'm gonna try not to, but like I walk into that room and I just remembered everything that happened to me there and I nearly had a panic attack and I started crying because I was triggered and I felt unsafe again because in that room I have been insulted, I have been feeling uncomfortable, unsafe, and that's something that I had to deal with at least like maybe twice a week when for 4 years. It's a lot. And so I went to that room. That was years later, but I was still in pain just being in that room because of all the negative energy that was associated with that here. And so that's what I mean. So basically, when I went to therapy session and I talked, like we did multiple like therapy sessions about that room alone because all the memories I had there, because there were lots of PE classes, and we went through each and every one of those memories and reprogrammed them to like let my brain know that this is all in the past, that we are safe now, and yeah, this is bad, but like we're safe now. It's okay. Like we're no longer there. This is the past us, and it's a long process, and it's very. I wouldn't say it's not painful, but like it's a lot. Like when I come out after an hour of in-the therapy, I am drained. I am crying. I am tired. And so this is something I have to deal with now as a 22-year-old. I mean, as a 20, I started going to therapy when I was 20. So for the past like 2 years, I've been going to therapy, and yeah, rewire my brain because some people thought that it was nice to make fun of me, and now I'm dealing with it every day of my life. So as I said, I have PTSD, meaning that I still have nightmares, like a lot of nightmares. We were talking about this during our last session with my therapist. I have a lot of nightmares that always echo to middle school, like the actual place where I went to middle school, or to my bully, or to other people that were bullying me. Like I have a lot of nightmares about this in different scenarios, different situations, but it's always connected to that. Most of my nightmares take place in like the middle school because that's when I felt the most unsafe. Yeah, so that's one of the symptoms of PTSD is that I have nightmares a lot. I have panic attacks. All of that PTSD made me develop a panic disorder, meaning I have panic attacks. Mind you, I like bullying is one of my main traumas. I have another one. The bullying is also a big part of it. So that's mostly why I had panic attacks because when I was a teenager, I used to have panic attacks pretty much every day. Like I don't remember exactly, but at least 2 to 3 times a week, which is a lot because most people only have panic attacks 2 to 3 times in their lifetimes. So yeah, that was a lot, and so I have a panic disorder that I still have to this day. That is stopping me from doing things today. I don't have panic attacks as much, but I still do. It's still a lot to handle, and it has consequences on me and on my health, my mental health. And for example, one of the consequences of a panic disorder is that a common symptom is that you're afraid to drive, and that's my case. I cannot drive a car to save my life because I am terribly scared of it because I have panic attacks that are due to the bullying that I went through. I also have anxiety. Lately, it has been okay, so that's why I feel like I can record this video. But yeah, anxiety makes my life hell. So my life is a living nightmare when I'm anxious because I'm anxious about everything all the time. I'm in constant like hyper vigilance mode. I think about everything all the time and I make up scenarios in my head and none of this happens and I make a mountain out of nothing. Like if there's something that I'm worried about, then I'll do it and I realize there was nothing to be anxious about. But I'm gonna think about it for like years and years before. Like for example, I don't like going out too much. I like parties. And a couple of years ago, God, a long time ago, when I was in high school, I was invited to a birthday party. Like we were in January, and this girl was planning her. I think that was like her 18th birthday party. So she was planning her 18th birthday party for like the summer. And from January to August, I think when it took place, I was anxious about that party. Like I was going in my head like over and over about what's going to happen, what am I going to wear, what am I going to do, I'm going to do this, I'm not going to do that, I'm going to, mind you, a party that was happening in 6 months, and for 6 months I was in my head about it. And that's an extreme example, but like every day that happens in my everyday life all the time, I'm so anxious and scared about everything, and I always doubt myself. Like I know that I locked the door, but I'm always going to be like, maybe I didn't, and now people are going to break in and steal everything and it's going to be my fault. It's like no, like maybe, but like most likely no, and it's like it takes this normal feeling, like it's normal to feel a bit anxious, it's normal to sometimes doubt yourself and feel stressed out, but it's not normal to feel it that much. This is just like ruining my life because I cannot do anything without feeling anxious about it. So yeah, I have anxiety, so PTSD, anxiety, I don't have depression, but I have something called depressive states. I think that's how you say it in English. And basically it's depression, but like on a like smaller dose. It's kind of complicated. But yeah, I do have depressions. I do have depression every now and then. As I said, I have a panic disorder. Like all of those things are just all of those disorders. They are making my life hell. And most of this is due to being bullied. That's why if you see that someone is being bullied, please take it seriously. Like, please do not brush it off like, oh, it's just kid stuff, it'll pass. Like, no, because here I am 10 years later and I'm going to therapy about it. And I'm having nightmares most nights. And I'm crying and I'm anxious because that one girl decided that it would be funny to mess with me because that would make her feel better. Like, this is so unfair. Something I talk about a lot in therapy is how unfair it is because here I am 10 years later in therapy crying about it, and all of my bullies, they're just on living their lives. I feel like that's unfair. Mind you, my therapist said, you don't know if their life is cool or not, which is true. I don't know if they are successful in life, if they are happy in life, but still, they have the right to just go on with their life without being burdened by all the things that I'm going through every day. And like all I'm going is their fault. Like it's not my fault that I have anxiety. It's not my fault that I have PTSD. It is because of the choices that they made because they felt insecure by themselves. And that's not fair that I'm the one who has to pay for this. I'm gonna cry. No, I'm not. Okay. And like that's why you have to take bullying seriously. It has consequences, long lasting consequences on your mental health, on your physical health. Because when I'm anxious, when I'm depressed, I don't eat. And if you don't eat, you die. Like I like I cannot explain this. Like I'm okay, like physically I'm physically well, I'm not particularly sick. But if you already have a fragile like physical health, or like it can affect you in so many ways because sometimes your physical health is affected by what's going on in your mind. And if your mind is not okay, your body might not be okay. If this is happening to you, if you recognize yourself in all the things that I said about being bullied, about being picked on every day, please take it seriously. Talk to someone. And if you are that someone that a child is coming to, please take it seriously. Please don't just brush it off. Because even my mom, who did take it seriously, nowadays I'm gonna cry. Nowadays, she regrets not taking it even more seriously because she sees that as a 22-year-old, I still go to therapy and I cry a lot about it. And she wishes that she had done more when I was younger. And mind you, my mom was very, like, involved in this part of my life because I told her a lot more than I remember telling her because she talks about things that my bullies did to me that I don't even remember because it was so violent that I, like, wiped it off my memory. But I told her and I didn't tell her much because, I mean, she doesn't know half of the things they did to me. But I told her those things. And she was always very involved and always trying to make it better. But yeah, we had this chat not long ago after a therapy session. And she said, I wish I had done more. I wish I'd taken you more seriously because you're suffering. And, it's my mom. She doesn't want to see me suffer. And just if you have a child or someone that comes to you with this, you need to be so careful and you need to trust them and you need to make them feel safe because there is so much more. Like, it is so hard to talk about bullying. That's something else, another video that I want to make. It is so hard to talk about bullying, and when you do, people don't take you seriously, or people just brush it off as just kid stuff. That's also why a lot of people don't say anything because we know that adults are not going to believe us or they're not going to take it very seriously, and just because you tell, like, maybe you tell an adult what's going on and they're going to have a chat with the bully, for example, but that doesn't mean that the bully is going to stop, right? It's going to keep going on, and all those mental health issues, they can lead to so many bad things, words that I can't even say on YouTube because, the number of teenagers that unalive themselves, that scar themselves, that hurt themselves because they feel so bad about. I have had some pretty dark moments myself. It's just so hard to talk about bullying. It has consequences on your life, on your everyday life, every day. That's why you really want people to take this seriously because, in your opinion, it might not be a lot, but for a child that is growing, that is developing, and to build themselves on a foundation that is like very shaky of, I mean, my bullies, they destroyed me. Like, they destroyed my personality. Like, when I was younger, I used to be very bubbly, and I had a teacher once. I think I told this story before, but like, I had a teacher that I had in my first year of middle school and in my last year of middle school. We had this like parent teacher meetings during my last year of middle school. He said, I remember that back in your first year, you used to be so bubbly, and you used to raise your hand and talk, and you used to, yeah, be more like outspoken. And nowadays, you don't talk at all. You don't raise your hands. You're just quiet and you don't say anything. And like, he was very concerned, and most of my teachers were concerned because they saw that the little girl that I was when I started middle school and the girl that I was when I finished middle school was not the same at all. And it was not an improvement. Like, I was much more quiet. I did not dare to talk in class because I was being bullied every time I raised my hand because I was kind of like the nerd of the class. Like, people destroyed me. They destroyed my spirits. I was so bubbly and nice, and I just so like I remember being so enjoying school because I was good at school, and people make fun of me, so I just stopped being good like too loud because I know that they were jealous of me and they would make fun of me. Like, obviously, all that I went through made me into the person that I am today, and for that I am grateful. But like, I wish I had become that person without going through all of this because I could have been much different. They destroyed me. I had to rebuild myself from the ground up as a child, as a teenager. And that was so hard. When you're a teenager, you're just trying to find out who you are. And then people just keep telling you, oh, you're ugly, you're worthless, you're a nerd, you don't deserve to be here. And this destroyed me. I mean, I'm quite positive in life. I'm quite optimistic. That's something that everyone says about me. I am quite optimistic. And I am a fighter. I always make it through. And so I had this period in me already of surviving. I'm a survivor. I went through a lot of my childhood before that. So I already was I was traumatized about something else, but like I already had this, yeah, optimism and this courage in me because I already went through stuff. But there are some kids that are not like me because we're all different. This can have much worse consequences than other people. And I just wish people would take bullying more seriously because it has consequences. It's gonna last my whole life. I'm never gonna stop having PTSD. I'm never gonna stop having anxiety. And I have all of these disorders because someone thought it was funny. Like, someone was insecure by themselves and decided to destroy me instead of working on themselves, and now I have to pay for it. And that's unfair, but can't change the past. But I really hope I can somewhat prevent it with these videos. Like, I can't do much about it because I'm not, I don't work in the school system. I'm not a parent myself, but I really wish that people could take this more seriously and realize that just because they are children doesn't mean that it's nothing. That it's not going to affect them. If, like, on the contrary, because they are children, they are building themselves and they need to feel safe. They need to feel comfortable. And if that's not happening, they're not going to do well. That was quite a heavy video. So as I said, if you made it through, thank you very much. I have other videos about bullying if you want to check them out. This is quite a hot topic for me. As you see, I kind of cried. Yeah, I really hope that these videos can help other people in some way, shape, or form. And again, if you feel like you're going through this type of stuff, please talk to an adult, talk to someone. If you feel like you need to go to therapy, please. Like, I am not a therapist, I'm just a girl who goes to therapy a lot. But like, if you feel like you need to talk to someone, please do, because you matter and you are loved. This shouldn't be happening to you. This is not okay. So please talk to people, please talk to someone. And if you're that someone that children are coming to, please respect them, trust them, listen to them, and take it seriously, because these children in 10 years might still be going to therapy and crying about it on YouTube like I do. So please take it seriously, because just because they are kids doesn't mean that it doesn't mean anything. I'm going to stop recording now because, yeah. That was quite a heavy video. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned some things. If you want to check my channel or my other channels, I have lots of things in the description. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you're having a great day. And remember, you are loved and you matter. Bye.